Here we go. We're back in studio. It's the Aces NFL show. There's about 15 more sleeps to go, Sipp. I am getting very toey, I must say. But today, it's all about fantasy football, giving you all the tips, all the gems like we did last year. Saquon Barkley comes to mind. Me and Sipp told you he would win your league. Harrow, I told you Derrick Henry. Now you're right behind him, but he didn't like it last year. Now he loves it. We've got more for you this year. And Rookie Watch. We've got all the rookies that you need to keep an eye on this year for fantasy football and plenty more tips when it comes to draft day. We're doing our draft. I think it's in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a live stream. I know the date, in fact. It's going to be exactly on the 3rd of September at 7 p.m. So if you love what we did with these live streams and Regan Bayless calling everyone king and carrying on like a pork chop on the White Claws, well, you're going to love this. But Sipp, great to see you, mate. Are you ready to go?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Oh, mate, look how much prep I've done. I've done the old school prep today. I've done a lot on my computer, but I've just gone pen to paper just to, go over everything in my head. And there's a lot of players that I think people are sleeping on.
Yeah, good thoughts.
I can't wait to give you some gems.
I love it, mate. I love it.
Where do you want to start, mate? I think we start with the gems off the top.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can get that going for sure.
There's obvious ones, and I've probably left the obvious ones out because there's a reason they're going to go pick one or two or three, but that will give you some and we'll tell you where they're going to go. So when you're doing your drafts, you get an understanding of, oh, hang on, the boys mentioned this guy around this round. I might keep him up my sleeve. So you kick us off, mate. Give me a player that you want to announce as a fantasy football gem in 2025.
I'm going to go to the tight end. So right now, tight end position, Joe Flacco has officially been named as the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback. And what I can remember from last year is that the guy that he used to give it to a fair bit was David Njoku. His fantasy stocks went up like there was no tomorrow, I remember last year. Average 18.4 points, fantasy points per game when Joe Flacco was on. I think he's a real hidden gem in that tight end position. If you're not willing to take one a bit higher up earlier on, I see him as the big guy to be able to get it done there. So you're relying on Joe Flacco obviously staying there. I think that he does. I don't think they have really any other option. And Njoku just at his best. So as I said, 18.4 fantasy points per game when Flacco is in and 9 targets. So, I mean, he's throwing the ball to the man, and I think that's going to be a good start now that Joe's your starting quarterback there down at the Browns.
11th ranked tight end last year. That was full PPR, but performed with the series of very underwhelming quarterbacks last year.
First 11 games were shocking for him. I mean, huge upside once Flacco got in those last kind of 6 or 7 games. You could see it.
I like it, mate. Yeah. I like it. He's an 8th rounder, early 8th rounder, according to my mock draft I did last night. So, if you can get him around there. That'll lean into a couple of tips that I want to give my tips at the end of the program, but that's a really good one that aligns with what my strategy is when it comes to fantasy football. So love it, mate. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to start off with my biggest gem for the year. And I'm going to pitch him to you. And
you're going bang.
I'm going bang. Okay. And you talk about first round, second round, third round. Well, this guy, he's around that kind of area, but his name is DJ Moore. DJ Moore is absolutely going to explode, Sipp, and this is why. Let me tell you why he's going to explode. So let's just revisit last couple of years, right? So the last couple of years, he's had 136 targets, and then last year, 140 targets. But in 2023, he went for 1,364 yards and 8 touchdowns. And I thought, how was last year? And I thought, how was their offense and their season? And the Bears, it was very ugly for the Bears.
It was rough.
He still went for 966 yards, 6 TDs. That was receiving, mind you. But now he gets a head coach. And we know his head coach comes from Detroit Lions. And if you want to compare players, this is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mm-hmm. And how did Amon-Ra St. Brown go last year? Well, let me tell you how he went. He had 141 targets for 115 receptions, 1,263 yards with 12 receiving touchdowns. And that's the point I want to make. The receiving touchdowns. He was just pivotal in the red zone. They had so many options, but they just loved going to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mm-hmm. And I just think DJ Moore is ready to explode. He come from Carolina Panthers. They had no offense there. And then he goes to the Bears thinking, we'll turn it around there. And then the coach got sacked last year. Mm-hmm. And now they get a guy whose name is Ben Johnson. And if I give you a quick snapshot of who this guy is, look at his last 4 years, right? 20 to 2021, he was the tight ends passing game coordinator. So he wasn't an offensive coordinator yet. So I'm going to skip that. He then gets promoted to offensive coordinator in 2022 with the Detroit Lions. Yep. They finished top 5 offense and 8 games over 30 points in his first year. Then the next year, 3rd in total offense, 2nd in passing, and they reached the NFC Championship. And then last year, they led the NFL in points per game with an average of 33.2, and they were 2nd in yards per game, and they were 68 touchdowns with elite efficiency. So you get that 3 years of offense from the coach. He now becomes the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And Keenan Allen just left. So I think,
there's extra targets.
There's extra targets there. Obviously, they've got Adunze and they've got the young tight end that just got picked up, and they've got Komet, and they've got Caleb Williams is the number 1 pick. He can throw the ball. And there's one more point. They've just loaded up on the O-line. So Caleb Williams is going to have time to throw the ball. I am all in on DJ Moore this year. Absolutely all in. I can't believe how good it is. And I think he has not reached his ceiling. So
that's great.
Last year, I was big on Saquon Barkley.
It's very good,
This year, I want DJ Moore in my side. If I get him in a 3rd round, I will be absolutely stoked.
Harrow's shaking his head over there, but
That's a good thing.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all, to be honest.
Why
I'm
are
right
you
there with
shaking
you.
your head,
I love
Harrow?
it.
You shook your head last year. I went out and won the tournament. I won the NFL Fantasy League. I just cleaned up. Tell me why are you shaking your head?
I'm not shaking my head because I think he's bad. I just think I don't think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver because there's so much more better than him. New system players, they might take time to adjust. Saquon last year, I just thought he wasn't going to stay healthy. But and I had bad history with him taking him in drafts. So I had a little bit of an
personal
agenda.
thing for Harrow.
Yeah, it's personal. Well, you can't let your emotions get in front of you there, Harrow, but I'm just looking at my little mock draft to see where he went. DJ Moore went early in the middle of the 4th round on this mock draft when we do half PPR 12-man league for anyone out there. But he's ranked 16th. He's definitely creeping up on that. And look, it's a good one. Top 10, you got to think about it. But when you're looking at 4th round wide receivers or late 3rd round, that is a genuine lock for 15 points a game. And
I agree. There's a lot of good wide receivers out there. Don't get me wrong. I can agree with Harrow there. But in terms of 3rd or 4th round, when you know those better guys have probably gone and here's one ready for you to go, I reckon DJ Moore is definitely one that you're going to be looking at and going, geez, look at this offense, look what they've done. Yeah, it may take a little bit of time, but when it starts to click, if that preseason 2 game's anything to go by that they did on the weekend, honestly, it could be pretty exciting to watch.
I can put your money where your mouth is and take him 1st round if you rate him so highly.
Well, that's
just silly though. I don't need to.
You mustn't rate him that highly.
Well, no, but that's where you're a poor fantasy league player. You don't reach, mate. You don't need to reach. I'll take him in the 3rd. His value's 4th. But that's where you got to bank the running backs. And I'll tell you my tips later, Harrow. But anyway, that's my first gem off the board.
Yeah, good.
Your next one.
I'm going to go to quarterback, and there's a lot of good quarterbacks that are in there as well. You're going to have your 4 or 5 that we all know that are going to go reasonably early if you decide to take one. And then there's obviously going to be a few later ones. But my one right now is actually Kyler Murray. And Kyler,
You've been reading my run sheet, Ding. You've been reading my run sheet.
My one's Kyler Murray. I think that another year with Marvin Harrison Jr. there that's going to burst onto the scene. We know what he can do with his legs. I mean, I know he's only 5'10", but you can't tackle him. It's so hard. And he's got the leg speed. He's got the throwing ability. Another year now where he's been able to get back. It's hopefully 2nd season. He's healthy and everything like that. But what he was able to do last year with that team was quite good, and I reckon he's an absolute gem. If you're not going to take anyone early, in my opinion, I think he's going to be one you can absolutely steal later on. If you want to take your running backs and your wide receivers and that earlier on, because he's going to be really, really good for him, I reckon, going into this year. I mean, last year he scored 2 touchdowns or more on at least 6 different occasions, whether that was him throwing the ball or whether that was him rushing the ball. And he's just got the ability just to be able to make plays. And I think I reckon he's going to be absolutely fantastic this year, and that division's going to be good, and he's going to be one to watch for sure.
I love what you said. I've got one quarterback, I've got 2 quarterbacks that I've circled, and he was the main one if you go by my strategy that I'll reveal later. Jaden Daniels is a guy that I'm all in on this year. He's a third-round quarterback. I don't like taking quarterbacks early, so I'd lose that and I wouldn't get him. And I looked, who can I get later? And Kyler Murray is the exact guy that I want to watch. I think the guys that he's got below him, the weapons, they've got a good running back room, I believe in. I think Harrison Jr., Marvin's going to just be absolutely eating. He was starving last year, even though his numbers were high enough.
Yep.
But if you've seen what his body looks like and everything, but 8th round. You can get Kyler Murray in the 8th round.
Yeah.
And if you can bank all your weapons before that and then when you watch football, you're very happy to watch Kyler Murray. If he performs like he did in 2020, that's what I did, Sipp. I went back to 2020.
Yeah.
If he can get the output, which is what I expect this year, his numbers in 2020 were off the charts. So I love what you've said there.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is one of those guys that I want to have in my 8th round selection.
Even if he's a backup there and whatever as an option, geez, it's going to be a good one to have if you decide to go with one a little bit earlier. But I'm excited by what he's able to do.
Very well said. All right, mate, it's time to go to my next jam, and I'm just going to get up a little article that I've got here. I'm going to the running back room, and I'm going to a team that you wouldn't expect. But let me just read out the most expensive offensive lines, and I want you to guess first. Who do you think spent the most money on their offensive line in 2025, according to Warren Sharp?
The Bears.
They are sitting at 4th at $66.1 million. Keep going.
Eagles.
Eagles are currently $55.8 million, which surprised me because they must be putting it on two players.
They must be putting it on 2 players and the rest are rookies. That actually makes a lot of sense now they've said that.
This team I'm about to reach out, they're almost 1.8 times the Eagles.
Jeez.
They're sitting at $95.3 million.
On the O-line.
Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
And their running back, Chuba Hubbard, was enormous last year, and no one spoke about it. And I've got an absolute gem for you all this year. They have spent the most money on the offensive line. They have just signed him to a 4-year deal. It was an extension last year. I reckon it happened when they were in London. I remember watching it. It's a $37.2 million deal. That's how much it's up to. And when you pay a running back, it's rare in this league. So when you're paying someone that much money, it's enormous stuff. They must have a lot of belief in him. They drafted a really good running back who did his ACL last year, so he's out. And then they've gone and got Dallas Cowboys running back in Dowdle as a backup, but they're paying him about $2.5 million, so it's fuck all. So he's the backup. This is the guy. And if I go off his numbers last year, 250 attempts, 1,195 rushing yards. He averaged yards per carry at 4.8. Yeah. He had 10 rushing touchdowns. And what I like about him the most as well is he can catch the ball. He had 43 receptions for 171 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. They are enormous numbers for one of the worst teams in the NFL last year in the first half. If you remember the last 5 weeks, they got it going. Bryce Young, all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, he actually can play. And now that they've got an offensive line, I am really excited about what they've done here. And don't let me forget, they just drafted a superstar wide receiver in the first round with their draft pick. So if you think about that, they've got more weapons to throw it to. And now Chuba Hubbard, he might have a little bit more room and he might be a bit more explosive. And I think if you're looking at middle 4th round, that's where he's getting snapped up. So if you're someone that's on the clock early and you go, oh my God, there's no, like Bijan Robinson and Jameer Gibbs and Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry's gone, just keep up the back of your sleeve. If you can get Chuba Hubbard, I think you'd be pretty impressed, and they play in a real soft division. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes.
Yeah, I like that. Well done. That's good. That is very, very good.
Happy with that?
No, absolutely I am. I reckon his second half of the year last year was super impressive. When he got given the reins, your RB1, mate, you could see the difference in his ability and the trust that he had in the group. It was second to none. So easily a good choice.
I want to go off this graphic quickly for everyone that's listening. So the most expensive offensive lines, and me and Sipp were massive on this last year. It's why we love the Eagles, because we just thought, well, Saquon's never had an O-line. Give him one and see what he can do. And he almost broke the record.
Absolutely.
Right?
Honestly, the running back's only as good as their own line. It proofs in the pudding with that for years. Yeah.
So the most expensive, now again, most expensive doesn't mean the best.
That's right.
But generally you follow the money. So number 1, Panthers. Number 2, Chiefs. Number 3, the Giants. Number 4, Bears. Number 5, Vikings. Number 6, Lions. Number 7, Broncos. Number 8, Commanders. Number 9, Chargers. Number 10, Titans. Number 11, Falcons. And number 12, Eagles. Again, that's on the most expensive. But I look at all those teams, and I'll reveal a bit later.
I was going to say, there's a couple that are a bit shaky, and one of those teams that you announced pretty high. But
it's pretty nice to see. I didn't mention Tracy, but Giants sitting at third, but that's positive when they've got a young quarterback there in Dart. And anyway, so there you go. Chuba Hubbard, I didn't think I'd be saying it, but I think he might be a league winner if you can get him in the fourth round, maybe late third.
I don't mind it at all. Don't mind it.
All right, Sipp, now your second gem.
Ooh, my third.
Third
Gem. That's okay, man. I just got to hold you accountable to it at some stage. You know what I mean?
I'm getting too excited about this Carolina Panthers offensive line.
I am going to go to the running back room again, and I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, I'm going to go over with Pittsburgh. I think that he is clear number one now. He's been the number two guy for a little bit now, obviously behind Najee, and now he gets to take over the reins. And I think there is obviously, again, there are some real quality running backs out there. But if you're looking for someone that's going to be there later on in the rounds, that is genuinely going to be your running back one, Jaylen Warren is a guy. He was really, really strong for him last year, particularly in the second half when Najee wasn't quite getting it done. He'd come in and his yards per carry were quite impressive. So I think he's a genuine option there for the Steelers. They always like running the ball. They're a pound the rock type of team. Yes, he's not as big as some of the other guys there, but his speed and agility to be able to pick the hole really, really well is very, very important for them. And I think it's a genuine opportunity. Obviously, we've got Rodgers there. We've got DK there. I think he just adds a little bit extra for him and a good little piece for him to be able to really get their offense going. And I think he's a dangerous man and can definitely be a gem for later on in the rounds. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
The only concern I've got with that is Caleb Johnson, the rookie running back. They've got, in my mock draft, both of them going in the 6th and 7th round. They don't know who will be the lead back. I think it will be Warren to start, but there's a bit of a concern that maybe that could be a split backfield. Now, sometimes first year, we look at Jahmyr Gibbs, they don't really give him the ball until the back end of the year, so maybe Warren gets a bit more work, but I am a little bit concerned that unless you get him for the right price, because I think he could be a massive league winner early in the year.
Yep.
But when you've got an early draft pick that's a running back, they're generally beasts.
Yes.
Like even if they're third round draft picks, they normally dominate.
Yep.
This guy went pretty early, and Caleb Johnson has had a lot of hype. So he's someone that you just got to keep an eye on as well.
No doubt, you keep an eye on him and stuff. There's other things as well. Like Warren will get opportunity. Looking at things earlier, Rodgers is a big guy on his running back, protecting him too.
Yeah.
And Warren could definitely step in the hole and get the job done, whereas rookies and that, being able to read that, linebacker play, which way to go. So all that type of stuff can you build trust with, and I just think Warren could be the guy earlier on, but no, I like where you're coming from too
you
as well.
You used to play with Kenneth Gainwell, didn't you? He's a teammate of yours. He's down there. He's their third down back.
There. He'll be a third down guy as well. He'll be blocking a lot. So he'll be in there for stuff. So fantasy value is obviously not much value in that aspect. But certainly he'll be a guy that's going to be pretty handy for him, maybe around the goal line. But yeah,
I'm just going to disagree with Sipp because he said that when it's Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers under center, I just want to make me throw up.
Oh, when I heard you say the third most expensive for the Giants, I said, well, they're wasting their time there.
That did blow my mind. The fact I know the Chiefs have got an expensive O-line. I knew the Bears did, but I couldn't believe the Giants sitting in 3.
That's good.
All right, I'm going to go to the tight end position next.
I reckon
this is a guy who Sean Payton has referred to as the Joker of the offense.
Okay.
So the Joker is someone that can do it all. And when you're a tight end, I don't give a fuck what they do. As long as they can catch the ball and score a touchdown. I don't want them blocking, okay? So early 7th round, high-powered offense, the Broncos. I actually believe in them a lot. I am very excited about it.
By this.
It's going to be...
You stole it. That was my next one for sure.
Was it? Yeah, you got him down there. Well, this 100%. Is good. Chime in after I'm done. But Evan Ingram hasn't been spoken about by anyone. I've been on the internet scrolling for months looking at all the prep, and Evan Ingram's someone that's just, I don't know, is a sneaky one that just went over to the Broncos. He's in Sean Payton offense. They just traded Vale today. Yeah. They know who they've got. You got Cortland Sutton. He's extended. I love the defense that the Broncos have. Their running back room, RJ Harvey, he's going to go early in your draft. I don't really want to touch their running backs because I think Bo Nix uses his legs too much, and they always want to do some exciting stuff on the goal line. I really like Evan Ingram here. He's been in some awkward spots, I reckon, when you think Giants, Jags, and they've definitely given him a little bit of an opportunity, but I reckon their clubs or their teams have let him down. he goes to the Broncos where I genuinely think they can compete for the division. Yeah. And there's a lot of trust in the defense head coach and last year the offense. And putting a leader like him in there, someone that can get behind them. I'm just at a 7th round. If you can get him 8th, amazing. But if you go back to my strategy that I'm going to probably can't really go back because I haven't given it yet. But one of the points I've got with my Tommy's tips of fantasy is don't take a tight end early unless it is Brock Bowers or Trey McBride. Just stay away. And there's so much juice down the bottom. And Trey and Evan Ingram at tight end is someone that I just would be so happy with. If I got Evan Ingram, then Kyler Murray back to back in a 7th and 8th, and I've stashed my running back room and my wide receivers, I know I'm in for a good year. I've got depth. So anyone out there looking for a tight end gem, Evan Ingram, Denver Broncos, eat it up.
I absolutely love it. As I said, he was going to be my next one. The Jaguars did not use him as much as they should have last year. That was so disappointing. The guy is an absolute star. We saw what he was able to do on the weekend with a couple of little plays there in the preseason. I can't wait for that to be a regular. Broncos, I think, are a genuine threat in their division this year. He is the missing piece. They didn't really have a genuine tight end that they could go to last year, relied on the wide receivers and their rotation in the running back. And honestly, they relied on Bo a fair bit too. And I think that is the missing piece to the puzzle right now, is a genuine tight end that you can throw to that's got the wide receiver moves on him. And I think Ingram, I'm certainly going to be looking out for him, and hopefully I'll get to pick him up personally because he's a star.
There's a real issue with doing this podcast when we have high stakes in our fantasy league. Everyone's going to be fighting. That's what we have to do. We have to put our plums on the line and let everyone know our secrets for you guys out there. So we hope you enjoy these. And all my other, how many leagues are you in? Everyone's going to know our secrets.
Mate, I tell you what, I think my wife doesn't know how many I'm in, to be honest. I said 4, but it's probably 12.
But we're obviously going to talk about fantasy today, and we're going to talk about rookies later on and our tips when it comes to fantasy so that you can win and steal all your mates' cash. Yeah. But we're going to do predictions, and all our NFL awards and where we think the division, who will win the divisions next week. But I'm just getting a little bit excited. The more I dive into the Denver Broncos, and it's actually, if Bo Nix cannot have a second-year Blues type performance and he can grow, they are going to be very scary, Sipp. So Evan Ingram, for sure. I just think, they have and Marvin Mims Jr., all these guys that I loved last year, they're all coming along nicely. I thought that Valet, he's obviously a good wide receiver second year, I think, but they just don't have room for him because they're high-powered.
Mims and that as well in there as well. I just think that they've got enough weapons there that they were able to go, here, let's try and get a little
Dobbins
bit
is
of
the running back. He's the RB1 at the moment. When you have RJ Harvey or the early running back they've drafted, like there's just a lot on offense for him. And I just think Evan Ingram's one of those guys that you can see him just sliding around the back of the D line and scoring a lot of tuds because they're trying to stop everything.
Agree.
So exciting times for the Broncos.
Good. So my pick for me, I'm going to go with wide receiver room again. I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers, and I think that he's probably looking around your 6th, 7th, 8th maybe round in fantasy. You might get him a fraction later. I'm not too sure, but I think he's just one that doesn't get the credit that he deserves, particularly with the last couple of years in the quarterback room that he's had to deal with. Aidan McConnell last year, overall their offense was pretty average. You got Brock Bowers in there that was taking a lot of the targets, but in the end, last year he's gone with 87 catches of 129 targets. He's got over 1,000 yards in receptions. Yep, maybe only the 4 touchdowns, but per reception, 11.8 yards per catch. Like that's pretty good going. And I think for someone that's looking just for a little bit extra, maybe in their wide receiver room, if you've gone heavy, maybe a little bit in the running back room and you're trying to find something else, I definitely think he's the guy. You've got Geno there now. You've got a running back that, yes, is a rookie, but he is still going to be a genuine threat for him and going to be used in the game. And I just think that he's just a great option, especially with Brock Bowers still being there going into year 2, that he'll just find places on the field that he'll get himself the ball. So I really like what he's been able to do. He's put a couple of good years together, as I said, with very questionable quarterbacks, under the center. And now that he's got his legitimate quarterback, I think he's definitely in for a bigger year, and I really like the look of what he's going to be able to do.
Really well said, mate. I'm just looking at last year. He's but I love the way they finished their season, and he's someone when you think of their head coach, who comes from Seattle in P.D. Carroll there. You got Lockett and Metcalf as the two names that stood out. And you think this is a bit different now. They've got there's only three real guys that you'd think it goes through. And Myers is that receiver. Yep. You know, they've got the gun tight end in Brock Bowers, who, by the way, numbers off the charts, broke every record. I'll read out some stats on him later. But then they've got the best running back we've seen in a long time. So the defense have to prepare for a bit. And we know that Geno throws one of the nicest deep balls around. So I actually really like that. For a late pick, he's someone that you know is going to get a lot of work. And Sipp, to back up what you just said, it's important to go to the data. The last few weeks that he played, so from round 12 to 18, he went 15 targets, 11, 10, 9, 5, 9, and 10. But he finished off the season really well there with 123 yards and one tutty, and he also had a tutty the week before. Yep. That's a really good pick by you. For anyone out there, clearly we're not talking about Jamar Chase because you don't need any information on him. He's going to go top. Well, probably goes number one.
Number one pick, yeah.
So we don't. That's why. But these guys can win you your league, and I think that's a really nice pick. I'm looking at 7.8 he's taken, so middle to the late seventh round here on my mock that I did last night, just for a little bit of reference. But that's a nice one.
Yeah, I just think that if you're going to get some quality wide receivers up the top there, and if any, hopefully nothing happens to him, but if anything does, I think I'd trust putting Jacoby Myers in there as the next spot to be able to take that role, to be honest. And I think he's a good one to have.
Really good, mate. Really good. All right, I'm going to go to my last one and my last gem for you all before we get to the rookies. I've got a few other gems that we'll touch on, but this is a guy that I sat down and I go, this just makes so much sense. Kansas City Chiefs, they have the best quarterback we've ever seen probably in our lifetime except for Brady, Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be dog hungry after losing that Super Bowl. I was thinking about their offense. Their running back room's cooked in my eyes. I've got no idea what they're doing. Travis Kelce's getting on. Like it might be his last year. He could probably play for another 3 or 4. But in terms of the way that he produces, I don't think you're going to see a Brock Bowers type year. So I go, where else will the ball go? And if they're going to be competitive, I think they're going to be in a division that's quite competitive. Chargers. Talked about the Raiders, Broncos. Like, it's not going to be easy games, which means that's great. They might need to play from behind instead of leading all the time. Xavier Worthy's finished to the year last year as a rookie. Like, you shouldn't expect much from the rookies, but the second year, the amount of trust and confidence that I've got as just a bloke that watches, and I'm not a massive Chiefs fan, what he did in the Super Bowl, the way he exposed certain players with his speed, I just think another preseason behind him, another, just more reps with Patrick Mahomes, and the fact that Rashee Rice is under investigation and potentially might miss, we don't know, but he might miss time. I know that they'll be going, well, we need to put a lot of work into Xavier Worthy. A lot of the other players, if you think about the Chiefs, they've got so many wide receivers that just come in and play a role. But Xavier Worthy, they spent a lot of draft capital on him, and I just love what he did. I think if you want to look at what he did in his last 5 games last year, including playoffs, enormous numbers. And I just think he's someone that I reckon Patrick Mahomes is going to feed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can get with him this year. He's a mid-5th rounder. And when I think about the players I draft, I want to draft players that have got an amazing quarterback, and they're always on prime time, so you get to watch a little bit more of them. So at a 5th rounder on the Mocky, I thought Xavier Worthy, if I've already got 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, I'm very happy with a flex with the name of Xavier Worthy at that pick. So I thought it makes a lot of sense for me. Second year, high trust, Rashee Rice, not sure where he's at. If he plays, that's even better because I reckon that's when you get the explosive plays, and we can't underestimate Patrick Mahomes' arm. It's one of the best we've ever seen. So there you go, mate. There's some gems that I've got, but I wanted to reiterate that my number 1 and number 2 is DJ Moore and Chuba Hubbard. I just think they are going to be steals if you can get them in the 3rd, 4th, 5th. So pretty exciting stuff.
I like it. Yeah, good.
All right. Well, it's time to go to your room, the rookie watch. It's the rookie room. It's where you did your best work last year. And I want you to reveal, before we start, how many have you got? And anyone out there, we haven't compared notes.
I've only got a couple.
I've got 2 as well.
Yeah, I've only got
I've
2.
gone wide receiver and running back.
Yeah, okay.
What have you done?
Yeah, I've gone a wide receiver and I've got a tight end.
Love it.
Yeah.
You start.
My first one, and I may have brought it up a little bit in our last episode, but I'm really, really keen on this guy, and it's Matthew Golden from the Green Bay Packers. I know that they've got a couple of options there in the wide receiver room. But the other thing is that they're not healthy. Wicks doesn't stay out on the park. There's a couple other guys
Reed's
there.
in a moon boot at the moment.
Reed just can't stay out on
Dobbs
the park.
might be getting cut.
Exactly. It's just that their wide receiver room's wide open, and this guy I think has burst onto the scenes. Genuine speed, elite catching ability, like almost catches anything. Some of his college highlights are actually incredible. Out of the University of Texas, they were phenomenal last year as well, and he put up some serious numbers. So in 2024 with the Texans alone, with the Longhorns, I should say, the Texas Longhorns, 58 receptions, 987 yards catching. So that's an average of 17 per catch and 9 touchdowns. Pretty good going for college football. Explosive.
Jordan Love, great quarterback.
Unbelievable. I think Jordan Love's going to be really, really good. I thought maybe he could be another one of our gems, but I went with Kyler Murray instead. But Jordan Love is a quality quarterback. He likes on the deep ball as well. I think he's got a guy on the outside now, again, with genuine speed and can almost catch anything. And in my opinion, definitely one to be able to look out for.
Love it. Because you're not doing a running back, I'm going to go with my wide receiver because I know you can't steal him. So I'll save my running back gem at the end. It's Emeka Egbuka. He is a beast. Ohio State. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the team he plays for, but obviously the college Ohio State. And I think of their wide receiver room. Mike Evans just got his 1,000 yards. We know that we were cheering that on last year for his milestone. Yeah. But he's obviously on the decline, I think. And when I say decline, he'll probably do another 1,000, but he's a beast, but he's getting on. And I look at the guys around the room and I go, who else have they got? Chris Godwin, he's missed all the training camp with the injury still. And then Jalen McMillan just hurt his neck really badly. He's going to miss the first month.
Yes.
So they need to put more work into this guy. And then we go to his quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Guess where he finished last year in fantasy?
Oh, wasn't he? He was like top 5, wasn't he?
Yeah. 4.
Yeah.
Ranked 4th.
Yeah.
4,500 yards, 41 tuds.
Unbelievable numbers.
And a mid-9th rounder is where Emeka Egbuka is going. And I just think, if I think of rookie wide receivers, I want to just make sure they're getting a target, like they're getting a heap of targets and a lot of workload, and I need their quarterback to sling it. And that's what they do. Yeah. Bucky Irving, he's a superstar running back, but then I look anywhere else and I don't reckon their tight end room's that strong. And when the wide receivers are a bit banged up, I mean, Kate Otton's all right, but I reckon this bloke could be a surprise packet. Yeah. I think he can explode. So I've got all my eyes on the Ohio State product there at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the fact that Baker slings the ball, I think he's an absolute gem in the 9th round.
Yeah, like it. That's a great pick. He would have been my other one for sure. I think it's a fantastic call. He's legit.
And it's important to note that, like, I'm in a keeper league, right? So he's a great guy that if you're in a keeper league and another one, obviously Aces, we just do redraft every year, which is exciting. But
guys like that are important.
Yeah, you get this guy and he explodes. And he might be a 9th next year, and then it's depending on your commissioner's rules. These are the gems that you should hold on to, and think about their culture of that club. Like they're always good. So I really liked him. I thought what you said was spot on, and I think he's a guy that I'm just looking forward to watching on a Monday morning here, but a Sunday in America.
There you go. Perfect.
Righto, 2 more gems.
I got one more. I'm going to go to the tight end room, and I'm going to go to the Indianapolis Colts. And now I know that the quarterback situation and stuff like that, but just hear me out, okay? Tyler Warren, rookie tight end. Last year at Penn State, 16 games, 104 receptions, 1,233 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Beast.
Pretty good numbers. I know Daniel Jones is now starting for the Colts, and yep, we've all seen it before, Firstly, Daniel Jones is going to have a better O-line where he is at the Colts. He's also going to have a better head coach who's a very offensive-minded guy that is going to be quite legit. He's also, with that head coach, loves using the tight end. I know that personally because the offensive coordinator at Philadelphia is now the head coach at the Colts. Loves using the tight end. Dallas Goedert had massive numbers over the last few years, and I think they've finally got a genuine tight end option. I know you got Mo Alley Cox there. He's the bigger framed up. He's not much. He's more of a blocker. This guy can make catches, and he's got great route running. And Daniel Jones also likes using his tight end. When Darren Waller was healthy, he'd be giving it to him at all costs. All right, so I think this guy's got massive upside, great potential. He was the best tight end in the nation last year, receiving that award. first team All Big Ten, second team All American. He just put up some serious numbers, and he's the guy that's burst onto scene for training camp right now, and putting up some serious numbers here. So as you can see as well, he's played 34 of the 35 snaps in the first team reps, taking his 4 catches, 65 yards on 6 targets. And genuinely, Daniel Jones is using him as part of that offense right now. And I just think he could be definitely a really good pick for you if you're looking for a rookie tight end that can make you some catches and make you some plays down the field.
Oh, I love what you've sold that. And if it was a house, I'm just buying it. That was you couldn't have sold that to me any better. That is elite research from you, Sipp.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm looking forward to seeing that play out. Mo Ali Cox should be stiff if he blew out. I think I like the fact that he's there because you need strong blocking tight ends.
Yep.
Obviously, Jonathan Taylor at running back, and then they can just slide out that D-line.
And they've got decent wide receivers too. Pittman, I think we forget about Pittman a little bit.
Pittman slid out on this mock that I did.
He slid out a little bit. He's one of the lower picks. Round. Yeah, so I still think Pittman's a pretty good wide receiver, and they've got a couple of guys there still, and I think he adds just a little bit to their offense. And I'm excited to see what he can do.
I love it, mate. Righto, I've got one more for you. I'm going to go to the running back room, and this one is a league winner. He's actually going early 3rd round, so it's no real secret, but it's the more I look into it, the more I think of Ashton Genty if he wasn't in the draft, everyone would be talking about this guy. Amarian Hampton is the man. If I think of LA Chargers and the way that head coach Harbaugh loves to fucking run the ball, Harbaugh, I should say, he just loves to run the ball. And Amarian Hampton, he gets the best opportunity. I love the fact they just signed Keenan Allen as well as a wide receiver. You saw what Lad McConkey did last year. They've got weapons everywhere. Herbert, he's got the new missus, Madison Beer. I mean, if you want a little bit of a pep in your step, you go and date one of these glamours. I just love everything that's going on at the Chargers. And you insert pick 22 from North Carolina, a guy that can do it all. And I think, well, who's he competing with? Najee Harris, unfortunately, has had this issue with his eye. He injured it with a fireworks mishap. They think he might be there week 1, but he's missed a lot of training camp. And I just think this guy might take his opportunities. And if he does, you can't take him out of your rotation. They will be there to compete. You know, I think about Jim Harbaugh and the way that he coaches, and he's a successful coach. So they'll win games. And if they're leading, this guy might get a lot of opportunities on the goal line. And I think when I look at the running back room, it surprised me how early he went on my mock. I thought I might be able to get him for a 5th, but he's going early 3rd. So he might be an absolute gem. And we know running backs that are rookies, they just get smashed. It's not like a wide receiver where they ease them in, or tight ends that take a little bit of time. Normally, if they're really good, think about Zeke when he come in and just bursted on the scene. Yep. So Amarian Hampton, Los Angeles Chargers, I think he can eat, and I think he can bank a lot of points for you early in the season with Najee Harris with his injured eye as he returns back to play. And even if they do split carries, I think this guy will be a 3rd down back, catches the ball, explosive. I really like what they're doing there at the Chargers with him, and the fact they took him at pick 22. I reckon Najee would have been a bit rattled with that because they did bring him across. But that tells me that they think a lot about this guy, considering they already got Najee. So keep an eye out for him at the end of your 3rd round, especially in a half PPR league and 12 blokes in it. I think he might be a little gem if you can get him.
Beautiful, Tommy.
Well, there you go. That is our NFL fantasy gems and rookies to watch out for this year. I now want to go to a little quick game with you before I go to some more things. I was just thinking about fantasy football, and I thought, NFL players, where are you now?
Oh, geez, he stitched me up on this one.
So I just thought, where are these guys now? So Michael Thomas, where is he gone? Do you remember Michael?
Oh, I remember Michael.
One of the best receivers. He broke
the record.
2021, I think it was.
Not that long ago.
He's just
he's
gone.
Heckling blokes on Twitter these days. That's all he's doing.
Another one. This guy presented a jersey to a guy that's now playing at Dallas, Pickens. Chase Claypool.
Oh.
Where's he gone?
He's a basket case. That's what he is. Mate, early 2nd round pick, and he has just gone nowhere.
I've got a couple more for you.
Oh, keep going.
This guy won me my league with Deshaun Watson a few years ago.
Oh.
Will Fuller. Where did he go?
Well, now he's been around for a long time. Like he'd been around for a little bit, but people just go behind the scenes and just keep quiet all of a sudden after a while.
And I got one more for you. I think this is his name. Is it Robbie Chosen? Is he still floating around, Robbie?
Robbie Chosen. I think I actually saw recently that he signed a 1-year deal somewhere.
Has he?
He's popped up out of nowhere again, changed the name, and I think he signed a 1 year. It might actually be San Francisco because they're that short.
Wow. I just saw Sky Moore just got traded there like an hour before we started.
I think he may be there. So if they've traded for Sky Moore, maybe he just gets cut and he's gone again. But geez, that is a cracker.
Yeah, there's
Love
a couple.
that.
And I got a couple. Odell Beckham Jr. Like, where's he at? He's obviously like ready
He
to
hasn't
go.
retired yet, everybody, if you don't know already. He still hasn't retired. He's still looking for something.
And
So-
Jarvis Landry, I just don't know what happened to
Landry,
him.
yeah.
He was the
Gosh, the Browns were big on him. They got him and Odell, and they're like, here we go, 1-2 punch, happy days. And it went to shit. And haven't seen him since, honestly.
Oh my God. But yeah, I thought I go, let me just
Good
write
work.
down, where are you now? And I
Wow.
thought I'd get a little reaction out of you. All right. I've got some stay aways and get behinds, and I'm just going to put this onto you at the moment. But I'll start. Stay away. I'm really passionate about this. Alvin Kamara, fantasy footballers out there, stay away. Early third round on my mock draft. You just don't want to do it. You don't want to go anywhere near players that play for New Orleans, in my opinion.
gonna be bad.
It's going to be really tough to watch. I think Alvin Kamara, he catches a lot of balls, but they're going to prepare for that and they're going to want to stop that. And generally when they're getting smoked, they just put him on the sidelines. I don't think you want to waste early draft capital on Alvin Kamara. Unless he gets traded, I'm staying completely away. Sipp, what's your thoughts?
Oh, I agree with that. Last year I did pick him and I was very happy. I thought his value early was very, very good, and he fell away a little bit as the season went on, but he was very, very good. But the New Orleans Saints team is different this year. It's going to be a long year for him, and I was genuinely shocked that they actually signed him to a 2-year deal. I know he was playing well, but I just thought maybe with the direction, I thought maybe it would just be time for him to go somewhere else and maybe get a value for someone somewhere else. But I think I'm definitely going to agree with that one. I think Alvin's going to be in for a tough year. He will still find a lot of the ball. He will get the targets and he will get the receptions, but the problem is that he's actually going to get anything out of it. I'm not too sure. I just think they're going to struggle with getting yards down the field.
And
That's
scoring.
all.
You want
And
touchdowns.
scoring.
You
And
want
do.
a third round pick.
I don't see him being able to get down the field enough. He's going to get the touches and everything like that, but I just think that his yards per carry, everything like that is going to be a bit of a struggle. So I agree. Happy for you to stay away from that one for sure.
And here's my get behind. I am so passionate about these two offenses.
We're all on the Bears this year, I reckon. I reckon this is where he's going.
He's
it's
already
the Bears.
gone there. The Chicago Bears are going to be explosive. I can't wait for next week's show to talk about the wins and the 4,000 yards. I think it's $3 on PointsBet. You can get 4,000 passing yards. It'll be a record for Caleb Williams. But this offense, even Swift, I haven't spoken about him. I could sit here all day and give you gems, but then I wouldn't be able to get anyone in my own NFL fantasy league.
right.
But I've given you the ones I've got, and they're my best. But Swift, he's one. I mean, even Adunze, I reckon he'll get out. He'll be the Jamison Williams type. I'm all in on Chicago. The O-line is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
They are protecting their number one pick from last year in Caleb Williams. And there's a reason he went number one. He's a superstar. And I love the fact, I said to you last year, he looked rough around the edges. Did you see how clean his beard was in the fade?
Yeah.
He means business this year, Sipp. And I am
he
loving
means
that.
business.
So that offense and Atlanta, I'm all in on Atlanta's offense. Penix, Bijan, London, Pitts. The ball will be going through all of them. Last year, Kirk Cousins, he could not move out of a phone box, mate. He had the Achilles. He was old. He was slow. Atlanta offense will start strong, and that's the other team that I expect a huge shift in. And Bijan Robinson, if you got pick one, just take him.
Wow.
He's the best player in the draft this year, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm not sold on that one.
That's okay.
So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just not sold.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You stay away from all those.
Weapons there. I'll take Bijan any day of the week, but I'm not taking their offense.
11th most expensive offensive line as well. So there you go, Bijan. You can get protected.
No doubt about it. I'm not sold. I'm very happy to be proven wrong on that one though, no doubt. But I'm not there yet on the Falcons.
And I have one more stay away.
Oh yeah.
Who do you reckon it is?
The Giants.
Old and cost me a bomb last year.
Who was it? Rogers.
Aaron fucking Rodgers. Do not go
And he hates him
anywhere
even
near
more now
Aaron
that he's a
Rodgers
Steeler.
this year. He's going to retire at the end of the year. He's halfway there. He's pumping up DK Metcalf like he's the best thing he's ever seen, and he is good. But I tell you what, when you got one cornerback on him, where you going to go, big fella? You can't move out the pocket. You're old. You're washed. You cost me thousands last year. I am not going anywhere near Pittsburgh. They are puke, and I am just saying.
Jeez, have a little respect for greatness, eh? Come on.
He's a superstar, but he's 40 years old and he's done. Okay, so don't tell me Aaron Rodgers is going to put up all these numbers. He ain't. I saw it last year with the Jets.
Very good.
And I am staying I'm staying far away from that offense.
Good.
All right. To round out the show, I've just got a couple more tips, Sipp. I've got a couple more tips.
Yep.
Tell me if you agree. These are Tommy's 5 tips when it comes to NFL fantasy.
Yep.
I'll start with 1. Draft players on elite offensive teams. It's the most important thing for me. Why would you want to draft players at Saints when the offense won't click? It hurts your head watching it. They don't get primetime slots. Fantasy's about having fun. So the first thing I've said is draft players on elite offenses.
I agree. Nothing else needs to be said there. I agree.
Perfect. Second point, avoid running backs with a committee.
Yeah.
Don't take a running back where there's a committee. Even if they are superstars, the committee can kill you. Do not take a running back with a committee, especially early. You can obviously get some gems late and just hope that something happens in your favor, but that's the main point. With your RB1 and RB2, don't take a running back with a committee. Get a bell cow, lock yourself in. Bucky Irving, get these type of guys. Chubba Hubbard, all these guys that just get all the workload. You want to load them up. Saquon Barkley, Jameer Gibbs, obviously splits, but he'll be the main man this year. Bijan Robinson, you want these guys. And if you want Christian, if you want C-Mac, he's a guy. If he stays healthy, he's a league winner. So they're the guys,
and
okay?
as you said, with Gibbs being like, yeah, he still will have it, but the fact is that a plus with him is that he catches the ball. So that can still be a little bit of advantage there too. So yeah, he may. I totally agree with that. No doubt about it. You've got to have someone that's just going to be give me the ball every single time. Very good.
Point 3, don't take a tight end early in the first 4 rounds unless it's Brock Bowers or Trey McBride. Do not take a tight end. You don't want to waste all these superstars around. You need depth for fantasy. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be heartache. You need that depth, so don't do it. We just said Evan Ingram, Njoku. There's some absolute gems in the 7th, 8th, 12th, whatever you want. Jake Ferguson hasn't even been mentioned. There are gems, and tight ends traditionally, they let you down. So don't waste a pick on tight ends. Number 4, this goes down to QB play. Pick a quarterback you love watching. Don't pick a quarterback that you hate. Don't do it. You want to watch a player that you love, and if they don't have a good game, then so be it. But you want to pick a quarterback in a great offense with a good offensive line that you can enjoy. It's about having a good time fantasy. Don't pick a quarterback that plays at the Jags and you're going, why am I watching this rubbish? Or someone
have a good time doing it though? I reckon you poo yourself half the time, eh?
I enjoyed watching Jordan Love last year. And I've always loved Lamar Jackson when I got him. So pick a quarterback. And the last point, don't draft the wrong B. Robinson. Okay? Make sure you pick the right B. Robinson in your draft, you idiots. I've had enough of seeing these guys celebrate picking the wrong B. Robinson.
Phenomenal.
Boys. Do your research. It's Bijan Robinson.
I don't even know how that's remotely possible. All you have to do is click on the guy, and it's definitely the first pick is definitely Bijan. I don't even know how that's even remotely possible.
Oh, my
Idiots.
God. So that is all I've got. They're
Great
my
stuff,
5 Tommy's tips for NFL fantasy. So if you want to stick to mine, I think you'll have some fun. Again, I won the Aces one last year. I think I know what I'm talking about. Sipp comes second. He's a bit stiff. But as it stands, I'm the champ. He's the runner-up, okay?
Gee,
very good.
Well done.
Now, one more important point, Sipp. How long have we been planning an event in Melbourne for Aces?
Yeah, it actually has been a long time coming. There's no doubt about it. So we've got some exciting news to share, don't we?
We do.
Really?
We do. We have teamed up with the Osborne here in Melbourne, and on the 6th of September, there's a game between the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's the second game of the season, and you never get a game on a weekend. We are so excited. We're going to be there, the American Aces Clubhouse in Melbourne. The game starts at 10 a.m. The doors open at 9:30. We want you to come down, meet us, have a chat, have a beer, enjoy the game together, put a few bets on, obviously powered by PointsBet, and just have a great day together. We love seeing your face. We put out all this content. You guys get in touch with us, but we want to meet you all and we want to have some fun. And the best part about it is we're going to do a live show after the NFL. And all our American Aces talent will be there if they're in town. We've got some big names coming. We're going to have a massive live show at 2 o'clock. And once that finishes, then we have the AFL, what I think's an elimination final. We don't know who's playing. We'll announce it next week. But it's going to be the exact thing that we represent. American Aces was born to represent Australian sport and American sport. That's why we're Americans. It's the perfect day. So make sure you stay tuned on social media. Get all your mates that are around and hit the link that we put up and secure your spot, because there's only 200 or 250 people that can fit on the rooftop, and there's going to be so much fun. We're going to be doing huge giveaways. There's going to be some cool things going on up there. We can't reveal it all. The propeller, if you like that, well, you'll see what happens when we spin that up there. Give away some merch, but also there's going to be some exciting things we'll announce later on, but that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. Osborne's done a terrific job, so we thank them very much for giving us the opportunity to be able to do this, which is really exciting. And as we said, hopefully all the fans and that have jumped on board and supported us can get there for a big day. So it's very, very exciting, and I can't wait for week 1 to come about. It's going to be awesome.
I can't believe it's around the corner.
It's around the corner, my man.
It is so close. So make sure you check that out. It'll be all on social media. And stay tuned. We're going to do it on this pod, but we're just going to have a quick break while we set up. But we are going to do our draft lottery for our NFL Fantasy League, and there's a lot of trash talking going on. So I need to make sure that it's all set up. So if you stay around, you can see how we're going to reveal our lottery picks and how we do it at American Aces. But to everyone that tunes into the pod, we hope you enjoy our work. It's a big season. Me and Sipp have got some massive plans, and we love your support. So hit subscribe, share this podcast to a guy that needs some help for this year's fantasy, and we hope to hear from you all very soon. So stay tuned.
Waits for it. Goal!
The bounce of the footy, roar of the crowd. It hits different, just like the PointsBet app. Now with a faster design, AFL Bet Tracker to follow every disposal, each player's last 5 stats, plus video previews from AFL experts. This is betting made for true footy fans.
PointsBet, built different. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.